Driving Test UK, the short notice driving test specialist.
Hello, my name is Shaq. In today's video, I will be talking about the emergency stop exercise, otherwise known as the controlled stop. The controlled stop is marked under section 2 of the driving test report, the DL25. This is given to all learner drivers who attend for a driving test. However, the emergency stop is not given to all learner drivers. The driving examiner will choose one out of every 3 candidates and request them to do an emergency stop. Prior to the examiner asking you to do an emergency stop, he or she will ask you to stop on the left somewhere conveniently safe. Once you've stopped on the left, the driving examiner will then say the following words. Very shortly, I will ask you to carry out the emergency stop exercise. The signal I will give you, I will raise my right hand and shout the word stop. When you hear the word stop, I'd like you to stop as quickly as you possibly can, under full control of the vehicle, as if though a small child had crossed your path. Before I say stop, I will look over my shoulder and make sure it's safe. However, please do not anticipate the call. You must wait until I actually shout the word stop. Those are the words the examiner will say to you. Now, during the exercise, the driving examiner will be looking out for 2 things. The examiner will be marking you for 2 things. First is promptness, and the second is control. Let's talk about promptness first. Promptness means basically to stop promptly, to stop more or less immediately. Now, the letter B comes before the letter C. If you can remember that, then you'll remember brake comes before the clutch. So brake first, then the clutch. It's vital that you brake first. Braking first will mean the car will stop much quicker, up to a car length sooner. That could mean the difference between hitting a child and saving the child's life. Many learner drivers get marked down on the emergency stop because they try to give the driving examiner a smooth and comfortable stop. The emergency stop is not about smoothness. It doesn't matter if the examiner jerks forward. It doesn't matter if his seatbelt locks. You need to stop the car as quickly as you possibly can. That's promptness. Let's talk about control. Control basically means to avoid skidding. If your vehicle goes into a skid because of the road surface or because of the wet weather, it's not a problem. All cars these days, all cars since July 2004 are fitted with ABS, anti-lock brake system. So if your car goes into a skid, just continue braking. Don't take your foot off the brake. Continue braking firmly and keep your hands firmly on the steering wheel until the vehicle has come to a full and complete stop. If you were to take your hand off the steering wheel too soon, you could get a minor mistake. For control. Now, if you took your hand off and you applied the handbrake before the vehicle has fully stopped, you could get a serious fault for control, because by putting the handbrake on, you could go into a side skid, which is very, very dangerous. So basically, the emergency stop is brake before the clutch, brake firmly, keeping both hands on the steering wheel at all times until the vehicle has fully stopped. That way, you'll pass on promptness and you'll pass on control. Once the vehicle has fully stopped, the examiner will then say the following words to you. I will not ask you to do that exercise again. drive on when it's safe. Most learner drivers are so relieved that the emergency stop is over that they move off without looking around. This is where many of them fail. They won't fail on the emergency stop. The examiner will mark it down as moving away safely. So remember, after the emergency stop, when the examiner has asked you to move off, make sure you look over both shoulders, your left as well as your right, because you'd stop in the middle of the road and vehicles may overtake you on the left or the right. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a thumb up, and good luck with your driving test.